Hello, my name is Price Van Ray. I am a divorced single dad, father of 5 kids. Welcome to my show. Hello and welcome back, everybody. I have a great show for you today. I always want to do a show about whether or not one mistake defines who you are. Now, that's something we all think about. So let's call it mistake or makeover. That's right, because sometimes, we make a mistake and we say, is this truly who I am? Can I be redeemed? Will other people see me a certain way? Well, before we get to that, we all know I like to do the thought of the day. No matter how many times a snake sheds its skin, it will always be a snake. Remember that before allowing certain people back into your life. That's right, we all have to be smart when it comes to our life. I tell my children this. Guys, if somebody's going to be mean to you once, more than likely they'll be mean to you again. You got to be careful. Now, I know that's a contradiction on what the show might be about, because can somebody be redeemed? But then again, you have to always be safe too. No matter how many times a snake sheds its skin, it will always be a snake. Now, that's almost like saying if somebody does the same thing to you all the time, can they be redeemed? Well, that's one thing. That's a totally different thing. But maybe if they do it once, maybe they can be redeemed. But in any case, let's get on with the show, because that was something to really think about. That is a quote I like to read every now and then. So, what is a mistake? We all make mistakes, don't we? A mistake is something that you wish you hadn't made. A mistake is something you wish you could do over. It's an action, a judgment that is misguided or wrong. But what's another word for mistake? With some synonyms, they say it's a blunder, an error, a lapse in judgment, a slip. But whatever it is, it's a mistake. I always look at my life and I say, I made a mistake. Does this define who I am? I guess if you do it again and again, maybe that is who you are, right? Maybe. People who know me know that I'm pretty spiritual. I'm religious. I believe in God. And there's a part in the Bible, Psalm 37, verse 4. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholdeth him with his hand. Means, I guess God picks you up. When you fall, when you make a mistake, he's going to be there. He's going to make sure you stand on your feet. But what you do afterwards on your feet, I guess that's up to you. I was thinking about, the common mistakes. What defines you? Who makes mistakes? We all make mistakes. Let's get this straight right now. Everybody, I don't think there's one person on this earth who has never made a mistake by accident or on purpose. But I guess if a mistake is on purpose, then it should be called a purpose and not a mistake, right? Because it's a purpose. You had a purpose to do something and you did it. So it wasn't a mistake. But I'm talking about those real mistakes. You accidentally trip somebody. I'll tell you a mistake I did. It was an accident. I remember we were having Thanksgiving dinner. This has got to be like 20 years ago. And it's rare when the whole family gets together because, unfortunately, maybe like a lot of other families. I don't know what other families are like, but my family, they aren't too close. I'd love to have a family that's close. I'd love to have a family that is tight-knit. But I feel like, we could be closer, definitely. I don't think it's as close as we should be. So my older sister was over with her boyfriend at the time. I don't think they were married at the time. And we were at the table, and I was pouring up all the soda. And I remember, by mistake, I accidentally knocked her glass of soda over, and it spilt on her. That was a mistake. That was an accident. But you know what gets me? I hope she doesn't think I did it on purpose. Because who would do something like that? That's not who I am. That's not who I want to be. It was an accident. It was a mistake. But I guess that's the thing, a mistake and an accident. What's the difference? What's the true difference between an accident and a mistake? I guess an accident is something that isn't expected, something that is out of the blue, wasn't thought about. I guess a mistake could be the same thing, but almost like a mistake almost seems like you knew what you were doing at the time, but then afterwards you sort of regret it. Yeah, that's probably a mistake. Oh, I regret that. That was a mistake. When it comes to relationships, I try to talk to my girls. My sons too, but I mean, my sons live with their mom, so I tend to talk to my girls a lot more. I tell my girls, when it comes to relationships, you don't want to make mistakes. Cheating in a relationship, having sex outside of your marriage. If you make a commitment to somebody, you stay committed. You don't make a mistake and say, I'm going to fool around. I'm going to do this. No, that's insane. That's crazy. That's not a mistake. That's evil, in my opinion. But like I say, if you make a mistake, that's, some mistakes are forgivable. Some, it's hard to forgive. Those are mistakes. And once you make a mistake, it's hard to come back. But does that mistake define a person? I guess if the person actually genuinely changes and they admit to a mistake, they can be redeemed. Everybody wants to be redeemed when they make a mistake. Nobody wants to be the villain. Nobody says, I want everybody to hate me because I made this mistake. No. That shouldn't be how it works. But like I say, everybody makes a mistake in their life. Some are bigger than others, obviously. Some are unredeemable. For example, if we talk about murder, somebody takes another person's life by mistake. Can they be redeemed? Does that define who they are? Are they a murderer? Or was it an accident? It's tough. We live in a world where it is so tough. It's almost like splitting hairs. We don't know what the right answer is. Nobody knows. When we talk about someone behind their backs, that's a mistake. Because if the other person finds out, they're going to be pissed. They're not going to trust you. And they're going to think, this is who this person is. Can you be redeemed? That's the thing. Can you be redeemed? Can that person who was talking trash behind somebody's back come back from that and say, hey, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have did it. So there's this movie called Anyone But You. And this movie, it was a great movie. I'm not going to lie to you, dude. This is a movie I would definitely watch again. It made you laugh. It made you cry. I mean, it's a comedy. It's edgy. And it's really cool. Sydney Sweeney, Glenn Powell, Alexandra Shipp, Gata, they were in it. And it was about how these two people met. And I'm not going to give the movie away. And for one night, they just talked and fell in love. And then the guy ended up talking about her the next day to his friend. She ended up running out on him. They made mistakes. But in the end, everything worked out. But I'm going to tell you, that movie reminded me. I guarantee you guys should see that movie and watch it. It was a great movie. It talks about a mistake somebody made. But mistakes happen. Mistakes. Mistakes make the world go round, don't you think? When you lie to somebody, you say, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake. When you hurt somebody's feelings, it could be a mistake. You don't want to call somebody fat. You don't want to call somebody stupid, lazy, insulting. That's crazy. Who goes around saying stuff like that? Who wants to do that, huh? I mean, those are your basic mistakes. But I mean, there are other mistakes, other life-changing mistakes, which we could probably work on. Staying in your comfort zone, that could be a mistake. Does that define who you are? Somebody who wants to play it safe, somebody who doesn't want to take risk. The comfort zone is where our dreams go to die. I mean, many of us dream of new beginnings, but settle for the comfortable status quo. And remember that if you do what you've always done, you'll get the same results you're used to. The better things in life are, on the other hand, of the comfort zone. You got to realize this, people, because when you step out of your comfort zone, you'll realize maybe I can do this, or maybe you won't. But in any case, you got to do something. You got to step outside of that zone. If you don't, that could be a mistake. Obsessive overthinking is another mistake. So many people are waiting for that one breakthrough that will drive them to action. They seek out one or more books, podcasts, or blog posts that will transform their life forever. A lot of marketers play off this human urge, offering some secret formula to get what you want. The problem is that there are no tricks or shortcuts to success. In the internet age, they wouldn't be the secrets for a long. Anyway, if you're struggling, a lack of information isn't your issue. Waiting, debating, and deliberating is your obstacle. In most domains, results are just 10% strategies, 90% action. And you just have to stop obsessively overthinking, because that could be a mistake. And does that define you? Somebody who overthinks, if they say this person overthinks so much, that defines them. That's all he thinks about. Some people think about money. I just think about money. That's a mistake. My mom, she loves to gamble. She'll spend like $100 a week on the lottery. I personally think that's a mistake. She thinks it's if you don't win, you don't play. Or if you don't play, you don't win. But I think it's a mistake. I think if she took that money and invested it, that'd be something else. She doesn't think it's a mistake. I think it's a mistake. Now, that's just 2 points of view. Who's right or who's wrong? It all depends on the beholder, right? All on your point of view. Because let's say I see the sky and I say, hey, it's cloudy. Somebody says it's clear. We're seeing two different things. So is it a mistake not to be open-minded? Is it a mistake not to see the other person's point of view? Is it a mistake not to realize, hey, maybe I should be a little bit or have a little bit more leeway into what somebody's saying or doing? Another mistake is assuming only big changes matter. I mean, a few years ago, I asked myself, why so few people manage to achieve their highest goals? And my immediate thought was fear. But why do our dreams scare us? I mean, that's the big question. It's fear. And is that a mistake? Is it a mistake? Some people wake up and they're just not happy. They see the worst sides of life. They're so negative. It's like it's a toxic thing. For some reason, everything is gray in their life. Is that a mistake? And judging somebody, is that a mistake? Because people love to judge. I'm not kidding you guys. Judging is unfortunately, that's a big thing. Is judging somebody a mistake? Is saying, hey, they shouldn't be looking at the world like this. But then again, you don't know what they're going through. Somebody who sees the world in gray could be depressed. Somebody who sees the world in gray could have anxiety. Somebody who sees the world in gray could be sad. And it's a mistake to sit there and assume that you know what's going on in their life. The thing is, life is so hard. Because we all judge, we all see, we all hear, we all learn. And is it a mistake to judge other people? We all do it. We all make mistakes. I'm telling you, we all do it. Reading and watching only what you agree with. I mean, come on. We got the news today. We have people who are in politics. They only watch Democratic news. They only watch Republican news. And they say everybody else is wrong because they won't look at the other side. They won't look from another point of view from another person. Is that a mistake? Should they be more open? Being overly impatient for something. I'm going to be honest with you. People who know me know I had a problem with my car. Somebody broke in my car. They stole some stuff. My GPS was stolen. I was pretty upset. I bought that, and I've had that for over 10 years. It was very, I loved it. I relied on it so much. But my car was broken into. Do they realize when they broke into my car that was a mistake? Although they got away with something, obviously. It was a mistake, in my opinion, for them to do that. Because they hurt so many people. They hurt me. They cost me time and money. That's the thing. Making a mistake. People don't realize when you make a mistake, it could hurt other people. When you call somebody fat, when you call somebody stupid, when you talk about somebody behind their back, that's a mistake, people. Do you realize the impact you can have? It's a domino effect. It's like a house of cards collapsing. It's unfortunate, but it does happen. I mean, it's unfortunate. There are some funny mistakes. Leaving things on top of your car. Have you ever went anywhere and somebody just left their coffee on top of their car? Then they start driving away. Then the coffee, you're sitting there beeping your horn. You're trying to tell them, hey, there's some coffee on top of your car. You need to move it. They're looking at you like you're crazy, like, stop talking to me. Then their coffee falls all over the windshield and it falls. You just shrug your shoulders. Hey, I tried to tell you. You make that face, and point your finger. Should have listened. I mean, I remember when my oldest daughter, she was a baby. So we had her in the store with her stroller. So we did some shopping. And as we're leaving, we leave, and the alarm goes off. Everybody's looking. The guy says, oh, you're all set. You just have a baby carriage. I said, wait a minute. Wait. There's no reason why this thing should be going off. Let's see what's going on. So I looked through the baby carriage. Little did I know, my oldest daughter, who was a baby at the time, she had thrown a lot of VHS tapes underneath the stroller. That was a mistake. But they were understanding. They knew, hey, we didn't steal it. We weren't trying to. That's inadvertent shoplifting that I had no idea about. But it was fixed. We told them what happened, and they realized it because I stopped. I said, no, I'm not leaving until I figure out what's going on. She made a mistake because she didn't know. And is that the thing? Some people just don't know. Do they have that mentality of a tiny child that says, hey, I don't realize what I'm doing. I don't know. But we are all adults, so we all should know. We all should know when you make a mistake. And correcting a mistake is a big thing. You don't laugh off a mistake. You try to correct it. You don't sit there and say, oh, it was a mistake. Oh, well. You try to be sincere. You try to say, hey, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry I did this. I'm sorry I made a mistake. It's a mistake to criticize somebody within earshot. Get that smirk off your face. It's not funny. No, when you criticize somebody and they can hear you, that's rude, man. That shows lack of character. You don't want to do that. That's insanity. Here's a funny one. If you're married or you have a friend, forgetting an important occasion like somebody's birthday or your wife's anniversary, my God, that is a mistake. Oh my God, you don't want to do that. You will be in a doghouse forever. Never, I don't think you'll ever recover from something like that. That's insane. You ever message the wrong person? That's a mistake. Does that define who you are? Does that make you an idiot? Does it make you lazy? Does it make you anything? No, next time you learn, you live, you learn. A mistake should not define who you are. I realize that. But if you do it habitually, I guess that does define you. I mean, if If you walk into a place and you do something all the time and it's irritating to somebody, obviously that's not a mistake. That's a purpose. That's unfortunate. That would really upset me too. You can't go through life doing stuff like that. That's insane. But I will tell you, I honestly believe one mistake does not define you. A million mistakes could define you. But if you have the willpower, the soul, the drive to change who you are, to consciously say, I don't want to be that person. I want to be more. That isn't who I am. I'm better than that. Then it should not define you. Because the thing about people, we grow. When we are born, we are babies. And as we get older, we grow. We grow into big adults, intelligent adults, hopefully. So we're not who we were when we were babies. We've grown. And hopefully from a mistake, we all can grow. That's what we want to do. That's what we should do. That's what we should strive to be. Because we are more. One mistake. Many mistakes shouldn't define you, but if you change, you got to change. You got to be more. And you can do it. If nobody believes in you and they still don't want to believe in you and they still judge you, remember one thing. Believe in yourself and brush off the haters. Brush off the haters. Because there's always going to be haters in life. That's what you call life. It's never going to stop. Never. But I guess in the end, you just got to forgive yourself if you make that mistake. Forgive. And that can be the hardest thing to do. Because if you don't forgive yourself, you know what? In my opinion, that is a mistake. Don't forget it. That could be a very, very big mistake. And that being said, now it's story time. Jason was always known as the responsible one in his group of friends. He made sure everyone got home safely after a night out, and he never missed a deadline for school projects. But one night, everything changed. Jason had a few drinks at a party and decided to drive home. It was just a short distance. He thought, what could go wrong? The roads were slick from rain, and Jason lost control of the car. He crashed into a tree, luckily to escape with minor injuries. The police arrived at the scene and gave Jason a DUI. He was devastated. How could he have made such a reckless decision? Jason's friends were shocked. They couldn't believe he had messed up so badly. But Jason sat in his room reflecting on his mistakes. He knew he had to own up to it and make things right. This one mistake didn't define who he was. He was determined to show everyone that he was more than his error in judgment. And in time, he did. Well, everyone, I hope you liked that story. And I want to thank you for joining me here today. If you enjoyed this podcast, you can download any of my past podcasts any time of the day, morning, noon, or night, all over the internet. Don't forget to subscribe and, hey, visit my website, pricevanray.com. It would be great if you could hear what I had to say. So that being said, it brings us to the end of the show. I want to thank you all for listening today. It's been great, and don't forget to be nice and talk nice to everyone you see. It's free. Don't be a jerk, and remember this one last bit of advice, people. Tomorrow is never promised, so don't go to bed angry at it or anyone you love. And before you go to bed tonight, hug your child and tell them, I will love you forever, Dad. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining me here today. Let's do it again. I'll see you next time here on my show. Be well, be kind, be back, peace. And I, my friends and family, will see all of you later. Have a good one.